We start with severe weather hitting central Kansas. A huge tornado churned through farmland near St. Libory on Sunday as severe storms swept across central parts of the state. We look at the damage sustained by two homes near 7th and Denton Road, and the intense conditions that included baseball-sized hail and wind gusts reaching 70 miles per hour. Stay with us for the latest on this dangerous weather event. Scrambling to manage the massive disruption. We break down what this means for commuters, including the plans for shuttle buses and parking access for workers. Finally, let's check in with Max's forecast for San Diego, where things are looking easy this week. San Diego is set for sunny skies, and temperatures hardly changing once everyone gets back to average by Tuesday, with mild conditions continuing through next Sunday. But don't forget, a beach hazard statement is still in effect for the coast through Monday morning with strong rip currents. Tune in right now for all the latest news updates. A powerful tornado devastated farmland near St. Libory, Nebraska, on Sunday as severe storms swept through central parts of the state. The tornado moved across open fields under conditions where the National Weather Service had issued warnings for dangerous conditions, including baseball-sized hail and wind gusts reaching 70 mph. The severe weather intensified across the region, prompting heightened alerts. The tornado was confirmed around 5:30 p.m. and struck two homes located near 7th and Denton Road north of St. Libory, causing heavy damage to the structures. Fortunately, no injuries were reported in the incident. Authorities are monitoring the situation as a few strong to severe storms remain possible this afternoon, primarily affecting areas south and east of the Tri-Cities. Storm development is expected between 3 and 6 p.m., with the final storms clearing out of the area around 9 p.m. Forecasts indicate that the strongest storms could produce large hail up to the size of golf balls, wind gusts near 60 mph, or even an isolated tornado. Nebraska is seeing a mixed but potentially significant impact from heavy weekend rainfall, offering a glimmer of hope for drought-stricken agricultural areas. According to Nebraska Extension climatologist Eric Hunt, the precipitation across south-central and southeastern Nebraska was among the most beneficial in months, with many regions receiving between 2 and 4 inches of rain since Saturday. Hunt characterized this as potentially being crop-saving rain, especially for areas in south-central Nebraska that were rain-fed. He emphasized the quality of the rain, noting that much of it fell steadily, allowing it to soak into dry soils rather than running off quickly, deeming the moisture truly meaningful. This influx of moisture is expected to improve drought conditions in parts of southern and eastern Nebraska, according to the latest U.S. Drought Monitor update, with some locations potentially moving into an entirely different drought category. Hunt anticipates that the current active weather pattern will persist over the next couple of weeks, presenting further opportunities for moisture to reach areas that did not receive significant rainfall over the weekend. While the rain provided substantial relief for row crops in many locations, Hunt cautioned that the winter wheat crop in Nebraska continues to face serious challenges, stemming from prolonged drought conditions and damaging spring weather experienced across much of the plains. Tens of thousands of New Yorkers are facing a significant disruption to their commute as workers at the Long Island Railroad, LIRR, went on strike over the weekend, marking the first such action in 32 years. The strike, which began at midnight Saturday, is the result of a failure between the union representing thousands of rail workers and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority, MTA, to reach an agreement on a new contract. More than 300,000 daily commuters depend on the LIRR to travel between Long Island and New York City, and officials are scrambling to implement contingency plans. State and local authorities have advised commuters to expect crowded conditions on alternative transit options, including New York City buses and subways on Monday. Queens Borough President Donovan Richards indicated that his borough is expected to become a bottleneck, with the MTA planning to deploy shuttle buses to move essential workers from Long Island to subway stations. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced measures to ease the burden on commuters, allowing them to park in the Seedy Field lot, which is within walking distance of the 7 train. However, Mayor Zoran Mamdani cautioned subway riders to anticipate heavier-than-usual traffic, crowded transit options, and extended travel times. The strike arose after negotiations stalled. Kevin Sexton, National Vice President of the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainmen, BLET, stated that an agreement on salary increases and healthcare costs could not be reached before the deadline. The MTA CEO, Jano Labor, contended that the union demands would force riders to cover the cost of a labor settlement that could strain the MTA budget, asserting that the unions chose to walk out. The LIRR unions have labeled the action an open-ended strike, claiming MTA officials did not initiate negotiations. They asserted that talks collapsed when the MTA introduced new demands regarding health care and other concessions at the 11th hour. Conversely, Labor denied that health insurance disagreements were the catalyst for the strike, stating the unions rejected all proposals put on the table. The core of the dispute centers on compensation. The LIRR unions are demanding a 14.5% wage increase over 4 years, while MTA officials have proposed smaller increases supplemented by a lump sum payment in the 4th year. Governor Hochul addressed the situation with a more conciliatory tone, acknowledging the vital work of the rail workers while stressing the risk the strike poses to potential salary gains, noting that a 3-day stoppage could negate additional salary increases under a new contract. San Diego is set for an easy weather week, according to Max's forecast. Residents can expect sunny skies and relatively stable temperatures as the week progresses, with conditions expected to return to average by Tuesday. However, coastal areas must remain vigilant as a beach hazard statement is currently in effect through 9 a.m. Monday, warning of wave heights between 4 and 7 feet and strong rip currents. Additionally, a wind advisory is in place for the mountains and deserts through 3 a.m. Monday, bringing westerly winds of 30 to 40 mph. Temperatures on Monday are projected to be near average along the coast and inland, though mountains and deserts will remain slightly below normal by about 5 to 10 degrees. A slight increase in daytime highs is anticipated for everyone on Tuesday, with further rises expected in the mountains and deserts on Wednesday. Following Wednesday, temperatures are expected to remain fairly steady through next Sunday, characterized by plenty of sunshine and mild conditions. Specific temperature forecasts for Monday show highs ranging from 68 to 75 degrees on the coast, 73 to 79 degrees inland, 62 to 75 degrees in the mountains, and 81 to 87 degrees in the deserts. For updates, viewers can follow ABC 10 News with our anchor Max Goldwasser on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.